Thomas and friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving, Daddy.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by beautiful blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams, and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are windmills and a coal mine and docks where visitors to the island arrive. The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the island of Sodor.
James pulls it through. The island of Sodor was flourishing. In addition to tourists, more and more people were making their homes in developing communities. To meet their demand, Sir Topham Hatt decided to add more coaches to Goins Express. The big engines were pleased, all except James. One morning, James arrived at the big station to collect a slow goods train. He eyed at the waiting express at the next platform. It seemed to stretch on for miles. Suddenly, a whistle interrupted his thoughts as Henry pulled in. "Good morning, James," he said. "Come to wish me good luck, have you?" "Looks like you'll need it," replied James. "But don't the extra coaches give you trouble?" "I was worried they do, especially on the hill. Driver knows better, you know. He gives me plenty of speed beforehand, and we coast right along." James glanced at the coaches again. A feeling of dread washed over him. James, is everything all right?" asked Henry. "Oh, yes, Henry, I am. Right is rain, but I must be going. These trucks won't pull themselves, you know." James hurried away. Henry was stunned. Something's not right," he said to himself as he puffed away. Henry was correct. Something wasn't right. For as happy as James could be, he wasn't blind to his own limits. But on ground level, he could pull long trains with ease. The gradients, however, proved challenging. And he knew they would be harder than ever. It soon came time for James for his first run with the new express. He simmered sideways at the platform, thinking of nothing but the hill. Before he knew it, the guard blew his whistle. "All right," said James, "let's do this. Come along," he puffed determinedly to the coaches. We're coming along," they sang. Nearby, Henry was waiting for his passengers for his train, and there he saw James pulling out with the express. "Give it all you got, James," Henry called. Out on the main line, the train began to pick up speed. James began to feel better, but all too soon, Edward Station loomed in the distance. I can do it, he said to himself. James toured to the station and was approaching Gordon's Hill. It didn't take long to feel the drag of the heavy coaches. And soon he slowed to a crawl. I must do it, he said. Steady on, James, cautioned the driver. We can call for a banker if needed. I'll get over this hill if it's the last thing I do, grunted James. Slowly but surely, James and his coaches crested up the top of the hill. He was relieved and exhausted and struggled to get the train back up to speed. When he finally made it to the last station, he was 10 minutes late, and the passengers was not pleased. When James returned to the shed that night, his driver spoke to him. I think the express had proved too much for us today, he said. Ha! Snorted James. We made it up the hill, didn't we? Only just, said the driver sturdily. You'll damage yourself at this rate, James. And if the passengers keep complaining like they did today, we'll be heading for much longer. I can pull it just as well as others, said James defiantly. And I'll be on time tomorrow. Mark my words. The driver admitted defeated, and James soon shut his eyes. But unbeknownst to James, Henry was listening. The next day, James was coaching along the line again. The coaches hummed happily, but he paid no mind to that. Won't be late, he said to himself. Once again, he passed Edward Station. Give it all you got, old boy, encouraged the driver, and opened the regulator. James gathered speed and charged up the hill, but his efforts were all naught. Once more, the coaches dragged him to a standstill, and James's wheels spun and spun, but he couldn't get a better grip. Then it happened. James was enveloped in a cloud of steam. That's torn it, said his driver. We'll need help now. Help soon arrived, informed Henry. Are you okay, James? He asked. James didn't speak. He just looked sadly at his buffers. Henry hastily coupled up and pulled the train all the way to the last station. And despite his efforts of making up the lost time, the express still arrived late and the passengers were furious. "I got places to be," grumbled one man. "I thought this was the express," said the woman. "That scrawny engine isn't getting us anywhere fast." "If that crapped out thing can't get us anywhere fast or on time," said the man again, pointing at James, "I should not ride on this railway any longer." The waiting mainland diesel snickered, but Henry gave him a glare, and then the diesel was silent, and soon he set off to his line. "Never mind, James," said Henry. "Ignore them. I know you did your best today." Yes," sighed James, "but it seems my best wasn't good enough." The passengers echoed in his smoke box, and for the first time, James truly felt clapped out.
The island of Sodor is a wonderful place. Thomas enjoys puffing all over the island. There are lots of special places to visit. Where's this? That's right, it's Tidmouth Sheds. Every day, Sir Topham Hatt comes here to tell his engines what to do. And every day, the engines leave Tidmouth Sheds to do their jobs. And they return again at night, after a day of being really useful. Once, in the sheds, Gordon kept all the engines awake at night. His firebox made a terrible noise as it cooled down. Percy called him Rattler Gordon. Gordon pretended the other engines all had very bad manners. But really, he felt embarrassed. He didn't want to be called Rattler Gordon. Then, one night, there was a shooting star. All the engines made a wish. Gordon wished to be grander. James wished to be redder. And Percy wished to pull the mail forever and ever. But when Thomas got lost on his way to the power station, Percy changed his wish. Now, he wished for Thomas to return safely to Tidmouth Sheds. When his wish came true, Percy was the happiest engine. But Tidmouth Sheds is especially important for one engine, and that's Emily. Emily used to live on her own at Knapford Yards. One day, Sir Topham Hatt decided to rebuild Tidmouth Sheds, and the engines had to move out. James had to sleep in the dirty, dusty coaling plant. Percy and Henry slept in the smelter's yard, and Gordon slept under a tent. He was very unhappy. Thomas had to move in with Emily in the sheds at Knapford. At first, Emily didn't like Thomas being there. Thomas's sleep whistling kept her awake all night. It made her cross. But one night, Thomas wasn't there. Emily missed Thomas. It was too quiet without him. She even missed his sleep whistle. So when Emily arrived at the new Tidmouth Sheds, she was very happy. An extra space had been built especially for her. Now Emily could be with her friends. And that's why Tidmouth Sheds is very special for Emily. There are so many special places on the island of Sodor. Next time, Thomas will show us somewhere else. Thomas and Percy are playing hide and seek. Percy is hiding from Thomas. Percy blows his whistle to help Thomas find him. When Thomas is close, Percy's whistle sounds very loud. When Thomas is far away, Percy's whistle sounds very quiet. Where should Thomas look first? At Knapford Station? Thomas listens to Percy's whistle. It sounds very quiet. Percy isn't hiding here. Where should Thomas look next? In Henry's tunnel. Thomas listens to Percy's whistle. It's louder, but it's still not very loud. Percy isn't there, but Thomas is getting closer. Where else can Thomas look? Tidmouth Sheds. Now Percy's whistle sounds very loud. Percy must be hiding in there. We found you, Percy. Well done, Thomas. All the engines love having a washdown. Doesn't Gordon look grand? His color is gleaming in the sunlight. What color is Gordon? Yes, he's blue. Is Gordon the same color as Henry? No, Henry's green. But Edward is blue. Gordon and Edward are both blue. Here's Percy. He's having a washdown too. What color is Percy? Yes, he's green. Is Percy the same color as Toby? No, Toby is brown. But Henry is green. Percy and Henry are both green. Now here's James. He's feeling very special. What color is James? Yes, he's red. Is James the same color as Thomas? No, Thomas is blue. James is the brightest red engine on the island. That's why he's feeling so special. Who else on Sodor is red? Yes, Bertie the bus. James and Bertie the bus are both red. What a lot of beautiful colors there are on the island of Sodor.